Good morning, everybody. This is Jared Klassen with Upscale Detail Co. We are on our podcast number 3 with Blake from Tinted. I wanted to bring Blake in just to interview him. Me and Blake have been friends for almost 2 years now, and Blake has done some amazing work for our shop. We have a lot of people that inquire about tint, and we always want to send it to people that do an amazing work, and Blake does outstanding work, and we're very grateful that he could be on this podcast with us. So, Blake, the big thing about this podcast is, helping other business owners and really getting our brands out there and helping each other, because that is what business is all about, is networking with other business owners and helping each other. So, I haven't really gotten in depth with you about all this, but I really kind of want to know, what inspired you to get into the industry?
What kind of inspired me
to
get into tinting? Well, I guess I knew I wanted to do something with cars. I didn't want to do anything mechanic-wise. I don't want to chase rabbit holes, look for oil leaks and stuff like that. But I knew I wanted to do something in the automotive restyling. So when I first started, I wanted to do wraps, but I didn't have the opportunity to go wrap. So the opportunity came up for me to learn how to tint, and when I went and got trained, I fell in love with it. And I figured it was a good stepping stone to get me in that direction that I wanted to go for wraps. And I've been doing tint for almost 4 years now, and I ain't looked back since, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we've both been following each other's journey.
Yeah.
And, I know that you were in your uncle's place, right?
I was in my stepdad's place.
Stepdad.
Yeah, so I started out there. I didn't have my own shop or anything. I started mobile, and then he let me come into his building, kind of split it up. It wasn't the nicest place. It wasn't the prettiest, but it was something that I could get the work done, and all that mattered was the quality that was coming out.
Dude, and that's so funny, because we kind of have the same journey. I started mobile. It's all about the journey, man.
Yeah,
and staying consistent to your goals every single day. So what is kind of why are you passionate about it?
I just love what I do, man. I love the seeing people happy about the product that I'm giving them. Happy about the results that they see later down the road as far as the protection and just the longevity of the film, the protection they get from the interior. That's where my passion comes from, seeing the people happy with what work I'm giving them.
So that kind of goes into our next question. What is the number one reason that people want tint for their vehicles?
Well, people would want tint for many reasons. The main reason I would say would be for heat rejection, glare reduction, interior protection, things like that. If you're going to have a brand new vehicle and you want it to stay as good as new, aside from getting it detailed and ceramic coated, you would definitely want to get it tinted just to keep the longevity. It will protect your leather from dehydrating, your plastics from cracking. It's going to keep your vehicle dramatically cooler, so you don't feel as heat if you got kids.
So the new technology that's come out is ceramic tint, and can you kind of explain to our viewers and things, what is the true benefit of that, and what value can it give to your customers?
The ceramic?
Yeah, the ceramic tint.
So ceramic is really the main difference is the heat rejection. So it's going to protect your vehicle. It's going to protect you. Like I said, if you've got kids in the back and they've got problems getting sunburn from the sun coming in through those windows, it's going to protect you from all of that. Ceramic tint is definitely the way to go. We do offer a standard film, but if you want the protection, you definitely want to go with ceramic.
And funny story, man. So when I was a commander over at Airborne School, one of my NCOs came up to me. He's like, "Hey, a good guy that can tint commercial property or my house?"
Yeah.
And he has problems with waking up in the middle of the night, and, in sweats because the sun would come in and you went and tinted his house. So that's another cool thing that Blake does. He'll come to your house and excuse me, he'll tint your windows and stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll do houses, homes, buildings, boats.
Yeah.
Heavy equipment.
So to go into kind of what brand do you really use that you think is the best on the market, and why?
I personally use GeoShield. I've used a lot of films. I've used Max Pro. I've used Lumar, a few other ones, but the one I found to be the best for me, and it's all preference, was GeoShield. I like the way it shrinks. I like the way it installs. I like the adhesive on it. I like the clarity, the heat rejection. And all of my customers have loved it too. I've only gotten good feedback from it. So
yeah, and all the people that we've sent to you, nothing but praise with it. So we really do appreciate that.
Good. I appreciate you sending them my way.
So going into our next question, what do you recommend to people starting out a tinting business? Is there like any advice you could give them, starting off? Because we all know that starting a business is not easy, and especially in today's world, because there's so many people that get into things and they start, but then they get discouraged and they quit. So what advice could you give a young version of yourself?
If I could give my young version of myself, or anybody wanting to start a business, whether it be window tinting or any business, you got to see your goals and you've got to stay true to them and keep pushing forward. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times you fall back, no matter how many times, you got to just get up and keep going. That's going to be the biggest thing, is going to just stay persistent. Keep your quality above quantity. You're not really worried at first about trying to get everybody in there. I know you want to, but quality is what's going to set you apart from your competition. And that's really where you're going to start seeing growth and where you're going to start seeing some better results.
Absolutely. And just to hit on that, man, me and you have the same values with that. Like, we much rather spend hours on a job and do the right thing for the customer than rush through a job and do a botch job. And,
Absolutely.
I will say, like, just getting into tint and PPF myself, like, it is very hard and it's frustrating.
Very.
You have to have the mindset of, I'm going to learn how to do this no matter how many times I fail at it. And I think the biggest thing that I've seen in the automotive industry is getting certified, man, because it's so important to get with a professional that knows what they're doing, because they're going to teach you the tricks of the trade that they've learned for years.
For years, yeah.
And I mean, you had a mentor, didn't you,
Yeah.
right? And he helped you out, didn't
Taught
he?
me everything I know. Absolutely.
That's awesome,
All
man.
the good tips and tricks, and then you learn your own along the way as well, but
Yep.
you really want to get started with a professional. You can always start on your own, but it's going to take a lot longer, and it's always best to have somebody who knows what they're doing. That's with anything. If you want to be a cook, chef, you got to have somebody who knows how to cook the food right.
Yeah, and this is kind of off the cuff. This isn't in the script that I made, but I posted something on my Instagram story the other day ago, and it was talking about, are we setting up our youth for failure right now with the school system? And the reason I asked that is because trades are coming back, man.
Oh, yeah.
And the automotive industry, especially the professional realm, like, you can be super uber successful with it if you understand a little bit about business, you understand, how to train people and creating a culture within your company. And that is the biggest thing, the culture of your company and the people that work for you.
And the experience they have when they come see you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just on my side, I much rather hire somebody that has zero experience, because they don't have bad habits. So that's just something that I was thinking, just because, like, kids get out of high school and then they want to go to, like, let's say, a D1 college.
Yeah.
And then they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the time they get out of college, they're literally hundreds of thousands of dollars
In debt, and you owe people money.
Or, dude, I had this great idea. Because I've always been an entrepreneur, what if youth, when they're in college, learn how to do these trades,
Yeah.
and it helps pay for their college? Because it is important to have a college degree.
Yeah.
But imagine if we would have known these skills and we could have, like, hey, we're going to do a ceramic coating on one weekend or do a tint job, and that'll pay for my tuition.
Absolutely.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Or even in high school, like Jordan here in Columbus used to offer, I don't know if they still do, but they used to offer some type of like different trade programs and stuff. I know not anything like automotive wise, but
Yeah.
Even in high school, so that way when they got to college, they already know what to do and they can start making money to pay for their tuition.
That's something that I had a little bit of, I don't know, it's something that in my head that I kind of want to approach a high school about, like, hey, how can we teach you guys to be better versions of yourself? And a lot of people, when you get into this, yes, you have to be passionate about it.
Got to.
Dude, if you're not passionate about it, you will not last, because it is hard work. It's not easy.
Yeah, early mornings, late nights.
Late nights, man. I've been at this
dude.
shop, and so has my team, till 1 or 2 in the morning. That's the
It
reality
happens,
of it.
dude.
It happens. So, kind of a follow-up question to the original one that I asked you about advice for someone getting into this. How much money would it take you to get started? in a business like this?
Okay, if you were to go get professionally trained, and you did it the way that I did it, then it would probably cost you about $3,000 to $5,000 to get started. That's with training. You're gonna need some starter tools. You really don't need much for tint. Really, the main thing comes down to like cleanliness, but you got to have all the right tools. I'd say about $3,000 to $5,000 to get you started, and then you're going to want to spend more in marketing. That's really what your main goal is just getting once you know that you've got the quality down, then you want to start getting some people to know that you're there, and so marketing will be your next step. But to get started, probably about $3,000 to $5,000. Yeah.
I would agree with that, and just when I started, I used my personal funds. It was like $600. I can remember I had this like a little Bisser or water extractor. We don't use water extraction anymore, but it was kind of funny.
It's funny where you start at.
It's crazy, man. And anybody can do this. They just have to set their mindset to it.
Yeah,
so,
that's what anything, man. You just gotta have the right mindset, and like you said, you gotta be passionate. If you're not passionate, you're not gonna want to do it for long. You might want to do it for a year or two, but then you're gonna get tired of it because you don't love it.
Okay, so I want to kind of share. We can share each other's like stories.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
I do have some crazy detailing stories.
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
I want you to go first. What is your craziest tent story?
The craziest tent story, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's happened twice now. So I was pulling out of my house, and so I got my truck wraps. You know who it is when you're driving down the road. And I got pulled over. So I thought I was going, I didn't have my seatbelt on or anything like that. I thought maybe, hopefully I didn't mess it up there, screen, but I thought maybe hopefully that I hopefully wasn't gonna get a ticket. I was like, man, I ain't got my seatbelt on, but they can't see me. I got the tent. But so anyways, he pulled me over and he was just asking me for a quote on his car. I was like, dude, are you serious? You couldn't have called the number on the back. You've got me about to have a heart attack thinking I'm finna get a ticket.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's happened twice now, so I know it's bound to happen again, but I'm ready for it. Ready for it.
I think, man, this was like when I first started, and this lady messaged me on Instagram or Facebook, I think, and she's like, hey, I need, a detail on my car. She pulls up, and we open up the vehicle, and there's literally live roaches in it.
You told her no, right? Or did you still do it?
So I tried, and then it was so bad. There was so much buildup in the carpets. I was just honest with her. I was like, ma'am, the best thing that you can do for this vehicle is rip out the carpets and then bomb it, meaning you got to get rid of all the insect infestation in here. And that was a crazy story, man, but it's crazy, where you start, and now we're, doing super nice cars. We had a Porsche 911 in here the other day, and we have, a Ford F-250 in the back. That's a super nice truck, but, the one thing I want to say is when you're passionate about something and you put God in your life,
absolutely,
and you put your team in place to help you out, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Yep. So is there anything else you would want to give our audience before we get off here?
Find what you love, man. It may take a little bit.
We got 2 questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear them.
Can you get a ticket for having your front windshield tinted?
You can. You can get a ticket for getting your front windshield tinted. It's technically illegal to have your full windshield tinted. The only thing you can have on your windshield legally is a 6-inch sun strip. We can definitely get your full windshield tinted for you, just as any tint shop can, but you do run that risk of getting a ticket and getting pulled over. So it's just something to keep in mind.
And what was your biggest obstacle tinting, and also what was your biggest obstacle detailing cars?
Biggest obstacle? I'd say just getting the basics down. Getting that groundwork, kind of like the foundation, getting that down. Getting the cutting, getting the right prep work, getting the right material, getting the right everything was probably the biggest obstacle. Because once you've got the right tools, everything just kind of falls in line, and boom, you're good to go.
For me, I would say getting all the systems and processes in place. The first 3 months of my business, I was trying to figure out the right chemicals and all that. But I will say that the moment I went to training really opened my eyes to what professional detailing is all about. And when you get in a room with guys that have been doing it for 40 years, that are on the Air Force One team, and in the detail mafia, those guys are absolute professionals. They've done it all. They've done multi-million-dollar cars. They know exactly what chemical to use, exactly what compound to use, exactly what polisher to use, and they teach you. That is what transformed my business.
Yeah.
And though I'm really big about working smarter and not harder. So if I can pay somebody to teach me their experience or their lifelong experience, why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah,
because
why wouldn't you?
it puts the business so much further ahead at the end of the day. Like, I would say that our shop is at technically year 10 at 2.5 years. Most people don't get into tint or PPF until they're year 10 in business, because PPF, just to get involved in it, dude, is a $20,000 cost.
Yeah, that's an investment.
It's,
right there.
I mean, the plotter costs $7,200, dude. The film is crazy.
Expensive.
So, like, people, they're like, well, why is PPF so expensive? There's a reason why.
Oh yeah.
The film is expensive. Like, just to buy, I think, a whole roll of film through Hexus is literally $1,500.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it though.
It's 100%
If you wanna-
worth
yeah.
it. 100% impact protection on your vehicle from rock chips. And, you know, what we're really going to bring to the table, we're still training. We've been training for 7 months. But we're going to bring PPF on sometime January or February. And I'm going up to Iowa City to train with my buddy in the Detail Mafia for a month.
Good.
And, you know, I just want to give the best quality to my customers that I possibly can.
Absolutely, that's cool.
And what we're doing is, you know, customers that are okay with it, we will charge them for the cost of the film to do the PPF. And we've done 4 or 5, and they've been happy because we've given the expectation management of, you know,
It's not gonna be perfect.
it's
but
not going to be perfect, but you're going to get the benefits of it,
Of it.
which is impact protection. So
at a fraction of the cost.
at
That's
a
very good
fraction of
deal.
the cost, like we're doing hoods, full hoods for like $500 because we're
Yeah.
just charging for the film. But if you go anywhere else, like P-Tap or, you know, any big place that's, you know, seasoned installers, you're paying $2,500 plus for that. So, but anyways, we got one more.
2 more. So you got one question was, is there a detailing school or you just learned this by second nature?
So the detailing school that I could recommend to you is called Detailing Success. It's through Rennie Doyle. He is an absolute professional in the industry and one of my mentors. He was military. Still is. He's a chief warrant officer in the California National Guard. But he is a mentor of mine, but also his training hub is in Atlanta. And really, Brian Crosby and Michael Hill were the ones that really set me up for success. Both those guys are my mentors, and they teach me all the time. So I get all my products from Detail Link. So that's what I could give you advice on.
Also, will y'all host a seminar on both of you guys' trades?
Meaning like a school?
I'm guessing they mean by like you teach your trade and you teach your trade.
So eventually, yes. So through the organization that I'm in, the Detail Mafia, there's certain parameters because it's a very unique and selective group. You have to earn the right to do that. So you have to become a certified trainer through the International Detailing Association, and then they have to approve that you can be a trainer. And that is a goal that myself, Ryan, want to achieve one day, but it does take time, and it's political when you get into the realm of those things. But I think eventually, yes, we are going to host training.
Yeah.
It's just going to take some time.
Takes time, yeah. Same for me. definitely going to do some training. I want, other people to get into the industry. There's no reason that not everybody can get into it. There's plenty of windows and vehicles to go around.
Yeah.
But like you said, it definitely takes time. You got to be a certified trainer before you can train people.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with that, and this, is being a master at your craft.
Yeah.
Being the subject matter expert of your community.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I got a question.
What's up?
So just starting out, I feel like a lot of people, when they want to start a business, the biggest problem is they're afraid to start their business because they don't know where they're going to get their customers from. They
Yeah,
don't know
right.
where they're going to start. Do you have any advice from where you found your first customers and how you expanded your business?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, honestly, man, word of mouth. I told a lot of friends and family. That's who my first customers were. Like Jared said, kind of with his PPF, I didn't charge them, price. I just charged them for the material so I could have those pictures so I can post them on social media and other things like that, so that way I could build up. So people, when they look, they're like, okay, he's done a few cars, let me try them out. And then, once you get one, then they spread the word, and then their friends come, and it just builds like that. It's like a little Lego. You just put one down and start.
Yep, you're
Put 'em down,
building
man.
the foundation of your
Absolutely.
company. The advice that I could give you on that is read the book called $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
That guy is an absolute professional on marketing. The reason we're doing this podcast is because of his advice. Additionally, when you first get started, reach out to your family members, reach out to your friends, certify yourself through those people, and then your network, like he said, will grow.
Absolutely.
But
it just takes time.
It takes time. Me and him have been going at this for 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We got a long way to go.
Yep.
I'm excited for the journey.
Are we good? Well, hey guys, we greatly appreciate you coming on this episode with me and Blake. And Blake, thank you for coming.
Man, I appreciate you guys having me. It was a good time.
Yeah, and do you have a website that you can refer your customers to?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to check us out, you can check out our Instagram, tinted_706, or if you want to check out our website, tintedcolumbus.com. You can check out any previous work, or if you want to book an appointment with us.
Yep, and then if you guys have any questions about professional detailing or want to talk to any member of our team, give us a call at 706-705-7335 or visit us at upscaledetailco.com. Thank you guys for watching. We greatly appreciate it. Peace out.
Cool.
Dude, we did good. That
was a good one.
Really good.